Love these big old pines, reds and whites. Wind blowing through the needles. Sun shining. Could be a worse day, that's for sure. Well, I hope I don't meet anybody on the road, or one of us is going to be backing up for a very long time. See? All right, you're good. Fishing, and it is so windy out that I couldn't really go where I wanted to go. Well, we tried a couple holes and nothing, so we're gonna pack it in. The water is right underneath the snow, so it's just a mess out here. It's super windy. Probably will be one of the last times I try fishing for the winter till open water. This birch tree here is dead, so I'm gonna show you guys a little trick. Some of you people who aren't from the north might not know about. When you're out on lakes or out in the snow and the sun is shining like it is today where it's so intense and bright, you can actually go snow blind, where it's so bright for your eyes that you get like snow blind, they call it. But what you can do is make what we used to call Eskimo glasses. So you just take a piece of birch bark, and this is a horrible piece to show you, but I didn't want to take a piece off a live tree. All you do is you cut out two little slits for where your eyes would be. When we get back to the cabin, I have lots of pieces of birch bark there, and I'll make a setup for you so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. All right, we'll see if we can do this without being interrupted by the birds. But like I said, if you need to make some impromptu sunglasses, you just make what they call Eskimo glasses. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to measure around your face and find your marks of where you want, how long you want to make it. Okay, so there we have our measurement, and you can cut it over your ears if you want. That's what you feel like you want to do. There we go. Pair of Eskimo sunglasses. Now I can see just fine through these little slits, although I should have made them a little bit closer together. But you can modify this all you want. But if you didn't have a hat, you would just pop a hole in each side and run a string through, a piece of paracord, a shoelace, piece of wire, piece of flexible branch, whatever you got. There you have it. A crude but effective pair of Eskimo sunglasses. But anyway, it looks a little dorky, but if you forget your sunglasses and you're wherever hiking somewhere, there's always a way to get around damaging your eyes by making a pair of Eskimo sunglasses. There's your tip for the day. I knew the day was coming when we were going to have to deal with the water. But this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. But I brought that big long pallet up here a few months ago, and I think it's time to grab that out and staple some more boards on that. And clearly this is going to be a river here for quite some time. So at least if that pallet can get me out to the higher ground, I might have a little easier access in and out of here without getting my feet wet every time. My head is taller than the woodshed beams. This was a good find, for sure. This thing could be lighter, it's all waterlogged. There, that should help. What a beautiful, beautiful day. Well, we should probably haul some wood into the house. We should probably go check the sap bags to see if anything's running yet, huh? Tonight we are having venison fajitas, and I thought I had one of those pre-mix fajita envelopes of seasoning, but I guess I must have used it or didn't bring it. So we are going to put on some general all-purpose hot spice. We're going to sear them very quickly, then we're going to take them off, and we're going to slice them nice and thin. They should be medium, they should be rare to medium rare in the center, with a nice char on the outside if we do this correctly. Whatever we don't eat tonight for fajitas, we will use for omelets in the morning. Man, I am just so grateful. The protein in this meal has been provided by the land. This was the deer that my son Hunter shot this fall. And tonight I turned some of the back straps into venison fajitas. So I'm looking forward to these. But before we eat, it's Easter weekend. Let's give thanks. Father, I just thank you for a beautiful, beautiful spring day. I know we've been waiting a long time for it, and I hate to complain about it all coming at once, but I just pray that the cabin doesn't get inundated with water and I get flooded out. But I thank you for your means. I thank you that you provide. I thank you that you know exactly just what we need. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I know I only have one on my plate now. Trust me, there's probably going to be 3 or 4 of these before the night is over. You ever notice? Whenever people eat on the video, the first thing they do is always be like, oh, it's so good. That's pretty good though. Well, instead of doing a little spring cleaning, I thought we'd do a little spring projects. There's been a couple of things that have been on my list for a while that I've been putting out, that I've been putting off. So I thought maybe today would be a good day to do a couple of odd projects while we're waiting for the sap to run. One of the things that I've wanted to do is, you maybe notice that I put like a bag of clothes on a chair in that corner over there. One thing I've wanted is some sort of shelves to put like little slide out boxes or even like your duffel bag on, just for organization purposes. So I picked up this little pipe iron shelf system. The only problem is it doesn't come with the shelves. But my thought was I have enough slab lumber laying around that maybe I could fashion some shelves out of some slabs of wood that we cut from the land here. But first things first, we're going to throw this together quick and take a look at it and see what we think. Well, this looks like this is going to be pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, this shouldn't take long at all. I should probably look at the directions though, but I think I'll hold off until I do something wrong or can't figure it out. Usually how guys do it, right? Ooh, I didn't have much room to spare, did I? So the only question will be is, do I want it here or do I want it here? I almost prefer it here and then lift the mirror up. So the idea I had I wanted to put doors in front of that empty space in the little cubicle area there, just so I can put some shelves in there and put canned goods or whatever. Always short of storage here. And my thought was that I would just use the same veneer plywood stuff that I used for the rest of it, but then it dawned on me I can't just screw this stuff into a hinge because it's so thin that of course the screws would protrude. So my idea was maybe I make like a little box frame door, and then that would give me enough. I can put the hinge right into the back of that. That makes sense. And then this part would go into the stud wall, and that would allow this to. So anyway, I'm going to tack the corners in, and then I'm going to glue this all in with wood glue, and hopefully that works. It's going to feel good to get this project done. It seems like it's been taking me forever, and I still have a lot of work to do on it. So gotta put a stain on it or poly. Need to do the trim. Need to put the shelves inside, in the inside. Figure out some clasp for here, or handle. There. Like I said, I just need to put some shelves in here and go from there. and put some sort of clips on here too, I think. But for now, that'll work. It wouldn't pass inspection in a regular house, but for shed, for an off-grid storage shed turned into tiny cabin, I think it'll be just fine. I had to laugh at myself when I was editing this video. It wasn't until then that I noticed that these hinges are not level. I measured them when I put them on there. I thought I did at least. But anyway, this one is a little bit lower than this one, and this is the correct height. So I'm going to have to remedy that. How is that? Is that fairly even? For the most part, I mean, it's close enough, right? Close enough for government work. Well, after I got that hinge squared away, I decided I would do a little bit more on the trim work and got the little post trimmed out in the floor and got a couple shelves in there. I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to poly it or not, or just leave it bare. I probably should poly it. I don't know. But I got some shelves to put in on the other side still. But I just kind of wanted to decide how deep or how big I wanted them. Got these logs that I cut all peeled. Now we're going to sand them down and hopefully put a coat of poly on them. And then we're going to have to cut our notches. But first things first, we're going to clean these up a little bit. Unfortunately, the paintbrush that I have for this project, apparently I didn't clean it well enough last time and it's as hard as a rock. So the only other thing I had was this foam block thing. So this will be interesting, but I don't want to drive. I don't want to kill an hour going into town just to get a $2 paintbrush. These two posts that are on the sawhorses are going to be the bed rails that the mattress will sit on. So they'll run the length of the bed. The one that's on the ground right now, soaking up all the water, is going to get cut into span poles, which will go maybe like 3 or 4 to sturdy it up. I think we're going to call this about done. There, now I've got a little bit more storage space. I don't know if I love the look, but we were more going for function. So at this point, it's going to stay. Welcome to mud season. Oh, that's not good. We got a slight problem here. And I lost 2 of my grill burners, so I'll have to fix those. That's not a big deal. You can get those relatively easily. But it is a nice night, that's for sure. 65 degrees today. A week ago I was wearing my winter jacket, my insulated bibs. But the place is just a mess. Just mud. River's been in and out of the cabin, constantly tracking in muddy feet. Tracking in his muddy little paws. That's okay. He won't be with me forever. I'm happy to have him and all the muddy paws that come with it. So I need your opinion on something. This really nice oak tree is probably, what do you figure, 60 to 80 years old? got a pretty big base on it, so I would guess at least 80. So it's been here for a long time. But this last summer, half of it broke off in a windstorm. And it's always had this pretty major crack right there. So my dilemma is, this is the area that I want to put the summer kitchen this coming season. So basically just a screen porch with maybe like places to cook, like maybe a pizza oven, maybe charcoal grill, maybe even a indoor fireplace. I have some ideas. I'm not sure how they would ever work out. So my dilemma is, do I cut my losses on this big oak tree and cut it down, thereby eliminating any risk of it falling on the summer kitchen? Or do I presume that I get another 20 years out of it before it falls down on its own? Normally I'd let it go, but that crack right there kind of concerns me. I mean, it's a lot of good firewood for sure, but I just hate to lose these big trees, you know? What do you think? Tell me. I know what I'm thinking, but I just need, like, push me one way or the other. Yeah, this is not going well tonight. This is not going well. So my burners are all messed up on this thing, and it's not working great. So, yeah, it's not going to be a great dinner tonight. They're not all dreamsicles, that's for sure. Welcome to reality, right? Well, probably not going to need all this wood for the syrup, because that's obviously not going very well. So maybe we can have a little bonfire tonight, huh? The stars are amazing tonight. Like, there's no reason a person should be inside. The sky is dark with the stars just frickin' brilliant. Yeah. This is where we're supposed to be. So we're doing a little night photography tonight. And a little bonfiring, it looks like. Well, what do you think? Think we can make it? Or do you think it's too deep? There's a couple of sandhill cranes across the way there. There they go. Today I decided that we are going to take a little field trip. We are headed down to Duluth to see my son Hunter tonight and go out to dinner. And maybe River Nile, I don't know, do a little bumming around. It's the area kind of where I grew up, so it's my old stomping grounds. But I just thought I would swing in here and let him take a little potty break before we hit the road again.
What do you want to do? Go along the sand or go through there on the snow?
What's my choices? Like,
I don't know what that looks like.
River. Don't eat that.
Well, let's try here. Well, we can always cut through, right?
Yeah.
See how soft it is. Looks pretty packed.
Yeah.
Who got that stick toy? Whose stick is that? All right, old man, hop up there. Good morning, everybody. I think today is going to be our first thunderstorm. Welcome to the mud pit. And I think today things are going to get much worse. Looks like we'll be working inside today. Well, this rain isn't going to help dry things out, that's for sure. But maybe it'll clean things up a little bit. This is what happened last year. When the snow melted, we were doing okay, and then we got a rain, and the frost hadn't gone out of the ground yet, and it just couldn't absorb any water, so the water just puddled in every low place it could find. This is what I deal with. This floor is a disaster. And we've got the little piggy. Thanks for coming in, tracking in just to want to go back outside. Okay, glad you checked everything out. See you in a while. Goodbye. It's another rainy day today. We're just not going to get any breaks on the wetness, I don't think. So I think old River Dog and I, we're going to probably call the sap syrup over, and maybe next week the temperatures are supposed to be a little lower again, but for the most part, I just think that it got too warm too fast and we're out of luck. So we're gonna go wash the bedding, and I'm gonna wrap this video up here and tell you guys that I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate your comments, and that you like the video. It helps the video grow and gives me motivation to continue making videos. And as always, we will see you soon. Goodbye, tiny cabin. We will see you very soon.